NBA DFS show with Jon Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, NBA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome to the Fantasy Time NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. We got 8 games here on a Wednesday, James. That is because no 10 p.m. games on the slate. They took them off. Further kind of confirming my theories here that when we have larger slates, they will not give us the 10 p.m. games. When we have smaller slates, they will include the 10 p.m. games here. So our slate kicks off 7 p.m. with the Wizards versus the Pacers without Tyrese Halliburton. Going to miss 1 to 2 weeks there with that hamstring injury. Our late night hammer matchup, New Orleans versus Golden State there at 8:30. Got a couple of teams playing some pretty interesting matchups here. We got more than a handful of teams here on back-to-backs as well. Sacramento, Detroit, Minnesota on back-to-backs here, as is that's it. Those are the teams on the back-to-back. No Joel Embiid for the slate. Already got that news. So no JoJo. No, I think Tobias Harris is questionable as well.
He's probable. I think he's off the injury report. Or questionable. You might be right. I don't know. We'll find out.
Porzingis is questionable. Jaylen Brown's questionable. Tatum off the injury report. Gonna expect to play. Zion questionable.
Halliburton obviously out for the next couple weeks.
Jimmy Butler already ruled out for this slate here.
Jimmy Butler may never play again.
Jimmy Butler may never play again. My FSGA team would love if he would take the floor. So yeah, a lot of news. Obviously, a lot of guys already in, a lot of guys already out. For 8 games, I guess it's good to have some clarity as we break down the slate. Some big, like I said, some big matchups, some high totals that we're certainly expecting here, given the matchup, like obviously without Halliburton, but we're still looking at a 251.5 game total. Pacers, Wizards there. Pacers are still giving 7.5. Hawks, 76ers, 243.5. 3-point total, that one, 233 for Heat Thunder. Rare we see Heat in a high game total like that one. 3-point spread there, 216.5 is Rockets Bulls there. So a low game total for the ones that we do have right now at the time of recording. So Spurs, Pistons, 239. How about this one? San Antonio only given 3 to the Pistons here. No Cade Cunningham. San Antonio only given 3 against Detroit.
They suck on the road. They've been horrible. They've been like bottom of the barrel on the road. I get it, but like, what if Detroit goes out there as time of recording? What if Detroit goes out there tonight and beats Sacramento? You know,
never know. Anything's possible. The fighting Killian Hayes is out there.
Killian Hayes is
just out there putting up a whole bunch of points.
Boy.
We'll see where it goes here. Obviously, we just got a point guard. Yep. Maxi's $8,900 against Atlanta. No Joel Embiid.
Yep,
that's pretty good.
Yep.
SGA is always in play, even when he has a bad game. 54 fantasy points, and I say a bad game like loosely. Back-to-back games with 5 fouls for SGA.
Yeah. He's a fouler. He's an undercover fouler. Like
3 of the last 5 games, 3 of the last 4 games, 5 fouls.
You know why it doesn't matter? Because when he fouls, it doesn't spiral into like Jaren Jackson territory. He just plays through foul trouble.
Well, they also they also keep him on the floor.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's because they know he won't foul out. Like Jaren Jackson, they're like, dude, you're gonna have 4 fouls at halftime. Like you need to chill.
Trae Young under 10K. He is probable here at $9,900. We have De'Aaron Fox on the back-to-back in Charlotte, $9,300. Steph at 92. No Draymond, no Chris Paul. Steph Curry at $9,200. It's kind of interesting. I know the Pelicans are really good. I know he's going to draw Herb Jones, but in a better matchup, knowing that there's no Chris Paul moving forward, like we get some low 9K Steph Currys. He's going to have a 50 burger, down the line.
I know
this is in the spot. I agree with you.
Do you see the? Just click on Steph Curry's name. Now click again, and look at the minutes that DraftKings has him playing for Toronto.
Oh, 59? That's probably incorrect. The one game against New Orleans, he did have 42 actual against them this year.
He did. Let's see. Did 2 things I want to check. Did Jose Alvarado play in that game? He did not. Did Herb play in that game? He played 22 minutes. Did Trey Murphy play in that game? He did not. So two really annoying players potentially.
Is Zion playing that game?
That is, let's see. Zion's been pretty good this year playing. Let's see. Did Zion play? Yeah. He had 5 fouls in 30 minutes.
Okay.
19, 5, and 3.
Oh.
I'm in on SGA, in on Young. Obviously Maxey. I know we had
here against Sacramento here is kind of, I mean, dude, guy played 44 minutes against Chicago.
This is the game the other day. He came,
the overtime game, yeah.
He came back from like that one game injury, I think, and just where they were like, oh, he's not going to play this back to back, like doubtful. And then he played, and then they were like, oh, right, he had 34 actual or 40, whatever he scored. Yeah, I think for me, like in general, first two people I went to was Maxey and Rozier. Yeah. I know we had a comment in the Discord the other day from our boy S Penny about, and you and I have kind of talked about this, about defenses honing in on Tyrese Maxey when there's no Joel Embiid, but like he still had 47 fantasy points in that game, in a game that he didn't shoot well. And this is just a different scenario. Like realistically, every spot that he's had with JoJo out, I mean, look at the span of games that Tyrese Maxey has like played late, or just like the team has played. Like the Knicks were the only like good matchup, and Embiid played and he had 50.
Yeah. Chicago's one of the slowest paced teams in the league. Houston, Orlando, Miami again.
Dude, like there was not a good matchup really involved in any of that. Yeah. Atlanta is just completely different. Like this is
he's played them twice, and he's averaging 45 fantasy points. And obviously Embiid, I would imagine, played in both of those, or at the very least played in one of those games. The other thing to note, the other thing to note here, Maxey on the season, shooting 38%, 37.5% from 3-point range, but recent games, because of tough matchups, 1 for 8, 1 for 7, has a good game here against 2 for 8, 2 for 9, good game-ish against Orlando, 1 for 8 again. If he shoots 37% from 3 when he's taking these shots here, he's going to hit at least 1 or 2 more. That's just bumping the overall value. And he's shooting 50% from 3 against Atlanta this year. So now you have no Embiid. You got to assume he's going to shoot better from 3-point range in this matchup. Elite spot. Again, not to take away from SGA, he's probably going to give you 55 to 60 fantasy points. Trey Young probably going to give you 55 to 60 fantasy points here. But you can probably get 55 fantasy points out of Maxey in this matchup. So, and you know what Rozier's been giving you lately. So both of those guys certainly well within play. Hero, Van Vliet, McCollum in this like upper range. Van Vliet coming off 50 fantasy points. Hero, we know what he's capable of doing without Butler on the floor. Gets that OKC matchup. Again, 233 game total. One of the higher matchups, game total spots for Miami here. And then McCollum draws the Golden State matchup.
Yeah, interesting to see Tari Eason already ruled out. So they must just be giving him, like, they're like, hey, dude, like, take some time, because obviously something's not right with that. Because that lower leg he was questionable for like a month straight, and he just played through it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we know Van Vliet has a ceiling. We saw it last game. Just really slow plotting game environment. I do like the Hero spot here. I wish his price was a little bit lower. I know he plays all the minutes. I know he takes all the shots. With Bam's emergence, the peripheral stats haven't been that great. But Miami's going to be super shorthanded in this game because Kyle Lowry's listed doubtful. We already know Jimmy's out. I believe Caleb Martin is listed doubtful again. Yeah. So like 3 just key members of their rotation are all out or doubtful. So Hero's definitely fine. CJM, dude, has been really, really good of late. 27 minutes in that Sacramento game, 37, 4, and 2 for 50 bomb. If you want to get to McCollum, by all means, do so. I got to ask, because, like, I keep poo-pooing him. Is it if... Like,
I don't even know what it is anymore.
I mean, like...
They're all playing, and he's just out here...
I know.
Having a run.
If Levine starts, does it matter? Because his price is still going down. I mean, I guess 7,200 is the same, but...
And so the thing is, like, this is Houston. He did it against the Knicks, Charlotte, and Charlotte. So,
And you assume Levine starts? Maybe eventually?
Maybe, but I would rather go Vassell, I think, against Detroit here.
Yeah, same.
Right?
Yep.
Wemby's still gonna be some level of limited, right? So
and Trey Jones, and like look at what Trey Jones has done for Vassell the last 2 games. Like Trey Jones is starting, playing big minutes. Look at what he's done for Vassell in general. Like Vassell scoring, he has an actual point guard setting him up he's made 10 threes in the last 2 games. So
and we're getting 26 and 25 minutes now. So he's up a minute or 2 for Wemby here. So you're getting big minutes out of Vassell. I guess the question is, do the Spurs play Thursday? Spurs, please don't. Please don't. They don't. Thank you.
There's always a chance because
Boston on the front end of a back-to-back here.
That's why
they played the Bucks on Thursday.
So that's why we have Zinger questionable.
And Brown and Horford and like all of those guys, right?
So it's interesting it is interesting to see the note about Tatum being off the injury report, because it makes you wonder about the second leg, right? It makes you wonder about.
They extend him against Milwaukee.
Milwaukee might outright lose that. Milwaukee looks. I mean, the janitors need to sweep up the floor better if Milwaukee needs to start winning. So I agree on your Vassell call. I will say though, I might instead play Trey Jones.
Sure.
He's been so good in the starting lineup over the last 2 games. 18 actual in both those games, 30 plus fantasy points in both those games, still under 6K. Kind of makes you wonder, why you're not even necessarily developing players.
No.
By not playing Trey Jones.
What I'm not doing is playing Killian Hayes at $5,500.
Yeah, I mean, that's ludicrous.
I'm not going to do that. What do we do with Indiana here? Nembhard is $5,200. McConnell.
Oh my God. Go up. Nope. Up.
Oh, is he 7K? There he is. 67.
Holy smokes. You dude.
I'd play it. Probably.
Oh, that's a
he's not going to start though, right?
Yeah, we assume Nembhard's. I mean, Nembhard's been starting in general, right? Nembhard was starting alongside. I would much rather play Nembhard at 52 than McConnell 67. I don't disagree with you, that McConnell is clearly the better fantasy asset, but
Podziemski also played 57 minutes in that game.
Yep, totally normal. Totally normal allotment of minutes in a game that they got blown out in.
Yeah. Seems like they have a certain tech team out there resetting projections.
They do need to fix some things, I think.
Yeah.
The Washington guys are a little bit interesting.
Yeah, Tyus. Dude, Jordan Poole actually had a good shooting game the other day, which I said needed to happen for OKC to hang around or whatever.
They did. And they sure did.
Giddy still playing minutes, 26, he was 34. Right?
Yep.
With Malachi Branham, dude, nothing.
No, he's back on the bench. He's toast.
Anybody else?
What do you make of? Do we have Cody Martin status? Because when Cody Martin didn't play the other day, I don't know if you saw Nick Smith Jr.
You did suggest 30.
No, he played 32 minutes.
Yeah. Cody Martin's questionable.
$4,200 point guard Nick Smith played 42 minutes, and we talked about it. They could just play Rozier off the ball, right? Yep. You don't need to play Bryce McCallum. You could just. So I think that would be the clear-cut play if we are from missing people.
Sure.
Also, if Zion and Alvarado sit, Dyson Daniels played 29 minutes.
Yeah.
Who was point guard, small forward, 4,200, had 30 fantasy points, didn't miss a shot in that game. So he's now played. Get the minutes again.
Hawkins play at all?
He did.
24 minutes?
He did. He was in the rotation. He was in the rotation before blowout. I mean, he did play the whole fourth, but he was in the rotation pre-blowout as well.
Sure. So back to the chicken or the egg for us there. Do we play Hawkins or Daniels? So
I feel that's
true. Shooting guard here. Edwards on a back-to-back against Boston. Jaylen Brown, 8,500. I thought Jaylen Brown was questionable. I guess not. $8,500 here.
I think it was Drew.
Maybe it was Drew. Was Drew the questionable one? Yeah, questionable to play there due to an elbow sprain. Obviously, Fast PP had himself a day the other day there against the Pacers. If Holiday was to sit. Derek White obviously had a bad game against the Pacers, unfortunately, but could always bounce back. Brandon Ingram's $8,500 here. DeJounte $74. Any favorites of the top half here?
Ingram for me, if Zion's out, the rest of the tier is just kind of fine. Rozier, we mentioned, would probably be like the guy that stands out the most of what we mentioned at point guard.
Melton questionable.
Yep.
And you got Oubre here at 62.
Yep.
No Joel Embiid. Oubre's been very good lately.
He has been very good lately.
If Melton's back, do you go Melton or Oubre?
I'd have interest probably in both.
Okay.
Melton's been really good. Do we have official status on what is the Toby status? Before we, what do we have here?
Yeah, off the report.
He's off the injury report. Okay,
yeah.
So it's just Embiid with the potential Embiid and Melton.
Yep.
Mathurin
64.
That's a lot. He did play a lot of minutes the other day, which isn't surprising. I think they need his scoring. 26 actual. 20
like this could be a ceiling scoring game.
Yeah, it could. There's going to be someone popping in Indiana, right? I mean, it seems pretty likely that Mathurin would be the lead candidate to do so.
I agree. Bogdan right there at 6K. Happy to continue to invest there. Burks is up to 57. Shush. Heald's 57. Bruce Brown 56. Trey Murphy 56.
Not all of those guys. Brown looks, I don't know what happened, but 20 minutes. He started in that game, just played 20 minutes. In a game they scored 130 points. Maybe there's an extension with Halliburton out, but Murphy is on a minutes restriction. I don't know if that gets lifted, but it was 20 to 25 minutes. He played basically the ceiling of that. 56 feels at that cap. If there's no Boston guys, like, yeah, no.
They gave the contract extension because he can score the basketball. So
Yep. And we kind of talked about it though the other day. Like Fast PP at 4,300 was a really good play, and there was upside. At 48, if he plays 23 minutes and has to have that game again, it's still good. Like I'm not shitting on.
I agree.
9 fantasy points, but it's definitely like a little less desirable. So I'm interested if they are missing pieces for sure. I'm just wish it was 4,300 enough.
If everybody's out, Duncan Robinson's probably got a ceiling minutes game coming.
Yep. Yes, but yeah, Lowry. We didn't talk about
he fouled out and played 29 minutes against Houston. So
had a pretty good game too.
Yep. Richardson's here, 29 minutes for him as well, $4,600.
Likely starts.
Yeah.
Lowry, if and when Lowry's roll out.
Wesley only 11 minutes. Moody played 62 minutes in that game.
He actually did. No, this is a fun game. He actually did play minutes.
He did. Yeah, he played 22 in that game. Moody played 62 minutes 62. In that game. Four
we didn't click on Clay. Clay played 28. His minutes are completely
so normal. He was benched.
He was benched.
In that game, he got benched. Landry Shamet, man, 26 fantasy points in 16 minutes.
Insane person. I mean,
Isaiah Joe actually had a huge game as well in that game.
Where were you when Isaiah Joe made all his shots? Yeah. He's the best floor spacer they got. So
my boy Svi only got 5 minutes in that one.
I'm shocked he even got 5. So shout out to Svi for getting. Shout out to Svi for getting.
2 for 4 on the free throw line. He was aggressive. Small forward. Tatum up to 10-3 here.
Dude, if he's alone, or if Tim and Brown, like what if Porzingis?
If they're 2-man in here with imagine if they sat Porzingis and Horford and they just gave Luke Cornett to Rudy Gobert for a game.
I mean, it'd be mean. But like you
also Luke, you missed that tip shot. This is what your assignment is tonight.
You missed the backwards tip shot. Yeah. I'd be interested in Tatum if there's no Porzingis Holiday.
Price drop, DeRozan, $7,600. Gotta play him, man. You gotta play him. This is this is where his price is going.
This is so annoying.
Every slate we said he's too cheap at this 73, 75 for like the first month plus of the year. He's back. So
yeah.
You are all over OKC the other day. Jalen Williams smashed. Are we running back to the well?
I think there's something to be definitely said about the minutes lately with Jalen Williams, because I've said it all year. Like, these guys were playing low 30s, and now we're getting 34, 36, 35 minutes in the last 3 games. Fine. There's Miami's like allowing the most points per possession at the rim, even with Bam being good, and Jalen Williams constantly attacks the rim. Love the assists, love the peripheral stats from Jalen Williams. So if he continues to score 20 a game, he's going to get you like 40 fantasy points a game because the peripheral stats are falling. So, yeah, I'd be okay getting to Jalen Williams. Same thing. I feel the same about Keldon, like as a pivot off of Jalen. 7K. I would play Keldon Johnson too at $7,000. Continues to just take a million shots off the bench for the Spurs. So
yeah. Jalen Johnson's been crazy, right? So
Keldon
Johnson
combine the two.
Yeah, been crazy here. I'm with you. Again, I think San Antonio, knowing that it's only a 3 point spread and a high total here, like you're going to get a full competitive game out of those guys. Like, that's huge. Same thing with Bojan here, $6,600. Like, same about him.
Agreed.
Denny,
Yeah,
we pick and choose the right spot. Like, this feels like it might be the right spot for a Denny game.
Yep. Yeah. Up pace environment. As long as this game stays competitive, there's no reason to think that Denny's not playing 30 plus minutes.
Right. Jaime Jaquez, another 38 minutes for that guy at $6,100. Certainly can run him. Talked Bogdan already. What did Miller end up doing in that one?
Nothing. Nothing. Yeah, literally nothing. 0.
Gross. I like guys we've talked about already. What did Neesmith do? 26 minutes. So do you give him a look at 51 here?
Fro Neesmith. Yeah. He had the Fro out to face his old team. Yeah, I mean, he's continuing to start at small forward, so seems like he's just going to settle into 26 minutes or so, maybe 26, 28. Maybe you get like ceiling 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fine.
Other small forwards for you for value? Anybody popping off?
Mentioned Dyson Daniels. That's probably it. Literally. Cam Whitmore, John?
Sure. Dude, I mean,
17 minutes, 20 fantasy points.
20 fantasy points. We talked about this the other day. If this is now his role where it's going to be a 15 to 18 minutes, I'm okay to give him a shot at $3,600.
Yep. I mean, if he is shooting the basketball. Like, we worry about players that get on the floor
and don't shoot.
He is shooting the basketball every time he gets on the floor.
Yep. I agree. Certainly can give a little dart throw out to him there. Power forward, again, you got Tatum, talked about him already. Wemby at $8,900. A little bit of a minutes improvement. Ridiculous block numbers. Rebounding's crazy. I mean, 250-plus games while playing 25 minutes. Now he gets Detroit here. I mean,
scoring is good. 20-plus and 5 straight, too.
And who's to say he doesn't check himself in behind Pop one of these times? He gets to 27 minutes, right?
It's hilarious that he did that. It's so funny.
Forever Miles Bridges can just keep running him out there. 40-plus fantasy points is going to be where we're at. So
future Detroit Piston.
You think so?
Yep, that'd be so funny. Miles Bridges gets sent to the Pistons. That'd be super funny.
Porzingis 84 if he's there. I don't mind it. We talked about it because he did it again. Just like comes on the floor late in the game and all of a sudden he just racks up fantasy points. So
I don't love the increased price, but it's fine.
Sure. If Zion's in at 79, I'll play. Kuzma, we called it out. If they're in competitive games, Kyle Kuzma has ceilings. I did not see 15 rebounds.
No.
But if you remember last year, he was a good rebounder for the Wizards. So I do like this matchup against the Pacers. Could be one where they hang. So Kuzma certainly a very interesting play at 78. Mentioned his name earlier. I'll just get to the actual player correctly this time. Jalen Johnson here at 7K.
Yeah, couple down games. Obviously, the Indiana game was a blowout. Doesn't play the fourth quarter. Fouled out of the Orlando game. That is like definitely a little bit of an issue with Jalen Johnson. The fouls, he's pretty aggressive.
Where's the foul trouble? I guess
Kobe.
Toby,
no JoJo. Like Toby's been
Yeah.
super aggressive lately. So like
That's fair.
that is definitely something to monitor. I would still get there. They do not have the rim protection. They do not have Joel Embiid. If Jalen Johnson gets to the rim and there's Paul Reed there, forget it. He's gonna jam on Paul Reed, and Paul Reed's gonna not be able to do anything about it.
Toby 69. Now we mentioned him at small forward, but obviously a great play here. Danny Jabari was big sad for me yesterday. I know it wasn't a great matchup for him, but took him with the last pick of some underdog battle royals. Like, some good runs. No, wasn't it? Wasn't the spot. I don't know if this is gonna be the spot for him either, honestly. Kuminga 56, whole lot of minutes now.
Dude, who the hell knows? Who knows? Like
him and Kerr had a heart-to-heart.
They had a heart-to-heart?
Yep, so he said.
After he blatantly leaked that he wasn't happy to Shams, like that was a direct leak.
Him and Kerr sat down, says I would like to come to me on these things, and then he played 37 and 36. Or actually, I guess, did he not play that? Or are these minutes wrong? Honestly, I don't even know. Yeah, he played 36 minutes against Detroit. What did he play against Toronto?
We're fine. I'm looking.
He played 36. Okay. No. He did. Against Detroit.
I'm looking.
Find out.
Toronto.
I played 10.
He played 25 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well,
what was his fantasy? 20 fantasy points in 25 minutes? That's kind of...
Assuming that's correct. I have no idea.
Well, I guess.
Another 38 minutes for him.
Yeah. And he's good. He's steady. He has a very steady play.
Agreed. Jalen Smith had a good game coming off there. 27 minutes for him. 29 fantasy points.
Dude, if that's the minutes we're going to get at Jalen Smith, he's a very good play.
The Wizards?
It's a very good play if he's going to play 26 to 27 minutes. But 2 games prior, he played 19. 3 games prior to that, he played 12.
Did Toppin not play in that game?
No, Toppin's played all these games. Like
Toppin only played 19 minutes in that game, though. 20 minutes in.
Oh, in the Boston? You're saying in the Boston game? Yeah. But what I'm saying is like that you look at like the carousel of minutes, like
did Jalen Smith play more minutes because they went double big with Horford and
probably. That's probably the case.
Let's see. Livers is there, 42. He's starting again on Tuesday. You've called out Najee Marshall a few times, right? 22 minutes for him in that game.
I think I would rather play someone like Dyson Daniels.
Okay.
Who just seemingly does more when he's on the floor. But I'd be okay with it.
Is Capella questionable, right, in this game?
He is on the injury report. He is questionable, yes.
Obviously, Gonku at 48 would be a
lock and load.
Chalk.
Lock and load.
I'd play him over Reed.
Yeah, he's $900 cheaper too than Reed.
Yeah.
Reed's 57. That's not a cheap. Gonku would be one of the first people we play. I would.
Yeah, I would agree. Moving on over to center, you have Sabonis.
If the Heat start Jovic again, would you play Jovic?
Sure. Yeah. I don't mind it. OKC here played the minutes the other day, 21, 24, 28. I don't mind. He filled the stat sheet up. That's fine. What did Love end up doing in that game too? Didn't Love have like a decent game or no?
He's been having a lot of good games lately.
Yeah, another 31 fantasy points in 24 minutes, 23 minutes here. So I think both are probably usable. Sabonis will be on the back-to-back, but he gets Charlotte. He may not play a whole bunch of minutes against Detroit the night before. So obviously an elite matchup here for Sabonis against the Hornets. Bam against the Thunder. Şengün gets Chicago. Let's see. Holmgren had a ceiling game. I don't think that comes against Miami. Miami's been really good against centers. Vuk off the bench had a ceiling game, and Drummond had a ridiculous game in 23 minutes. So I don't know what to do with the centers here. So,
I mean, the assumption is like we're gonna see Vooch extended at some point, right?
Mm-hmm. So, tell me why in 2 games against the Wizards, Miles Turner's only averaging 21 minutes. He played 23 minutes on opening night against the Wizards, and then played 20 minutes in December against them. Is this just not a good matchup for Miles Turner? Is that the problem here?
23-point win, 14-point loss?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's why.
I don't know. We know, I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense because then you look at like even Miles Turner's last few games, 35 and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
On the floor.
Zion's out. Valanciunas probably has some appeal. Gafford.
Yeah, this is a pretty good spot for him. Hoping they live with him chasing Miles Turner out to the perimeter a little bit.
True. They're going to throw Muscala out there.
Moose is on the loose, baby. Let's go.
I would have interest in Capella if he's active.
Same.
But obviously, Okonkwo would be great. If Capella's in, do you go Reed at 57?
Yeah, this is a scenario where Paul Reed is like
good, right?
Makes sense, right? Because he's
around.
Yeah, he's not on the perimeter, and he doesn't have to. When he's in drop, he doesn't need to worry about So yes, I think so.
Larry Nance got his minutes cut down the last couple games here. A little tough to. I know blowout, obviously, but a little tough to go back to that for me.
They did play, to your point about the blowout, in that last game. They played JRE and they played Cody Zeller for what it's worth. So I also think they played EJ Liddell minutes. So Nance lost out a ton of time because they played everybody. Jackson Davis played
27.
Yeah, 27.
16 and 11 in the 27 minutes.
And guess what? He started again, by the way. Because Steve Kerr literally can't figure out a starting.
Can't figure it out. All right, let's build a lineup. I imagine we're just plugging Paul Reed in here first.
Maxey, Reed, yeah.
All right.
And then obviously, as we've alluded to, as the day progresses and we find out more news, the clear pivot would be Okonkwo if Capella's rolled out.
Agreed. I like Vassell here at shooting guard. Do we have other value that we were kind of targeting in this one? Let's see. Jovic.
Richardson, 46. He's going to start. New Orleans value, obviously, if there's guys out there. Nick Smith, if Cody Martin doesn't play, is in play.
Get him a guard. 5,800 small forward. Oubre, I guess.
Would you rather him or Matherin?
Oh, Matherin, probably. Where's Matherin at? Right there, 64. Power forward. You like Nembhard, you said, right?
He's okay. I'm just saying
he is 52.
I'd rather play 52 Nembhard than I would a 7 or whatever 6,700 TJ McConnell.
Would you rather 52 Nembhard or 58 Trey Jones?
Probably Trey Jones. He's been really consistent. Really, really good.
What if we did Keldon over Vassell? Would you rather Keldon or Vassell?
I would rather Vassell, but
okay. I was just thinking about lineup fitting. Let's go.
Yeah, we have a lot of guards, so if we need to fit Keldon, then play Keldon.
Where's Jalen Johnson up here? He was 7. Be a $4,300 forward. Do we even have?
That would be Dyson. It would be Dyson Daniels if
Sure.
If Zion is out.
Zion is out. All right,
and Alvarado. Zion and Alvarado, or Cam Whitmore, 3,600.
Yeah, let's do that one. We're in on throwing some Whitmore darts here. Where is he? 36. That gives us a chance to upgrade someone here. Let's go Trey Jones at guard. And utility at $5,300. Let's go Neesmith. We'll just stack that Pacers game here. So Maxey, Vassell, Matherin, Jalen Johnson, Paul Reed, Trey Jones, Cam Whitmore, and Neesmith. Wednesday lineup preview. Sean Mitchell on your playbook. Find us in Discord. Get us on Twitter if you have any questions. Good luck, everybody. We'll see y'all later.